Have you ever woken up with a melody in your head? A song so perfect, so haunting, that you're not sure if it's yours or just borrowed from a dream. This was the real-life story of Paul McCartney and one of the most iconic songs ever written. Yesterday, it became more than just a beloved ballad. It was recorded over 2,000 times by artists across the globe. But behind this timeless music lies a fascinating tale of creativity, self-doubt, and the incredible magic of inspiration. The story begins in 1964. Paul McCartney, at the peak of his fame with the Beatles, found himself in the midst of a creative dry spell. Then, one morning, he woke up with a complete tune in his mind. It was simple, elegant, and completely unlike anything the Beatles had ever recorded. He was so convinced he'd unconsciously stolen it from somewhere that he spent the next few weeks playing it for everyone he knew, constantly asking, "Have you heard this before?" But no one had. The melody was entirely his, a gift from his subconscious. What's even more surprising is that this beautiful, melancholic song didn't start with its famous lyrics. The original working title was Scrambled Eggs, and the placeholder lyrics were, well, a little less poetic. Imagine Paul McCartney singing, "Scrambled eggs, oh my baby, how I love your legs." It took weeks of careful refinement before the final, heart-wrenching words emerged. Yesterday, all my troubles seemed so far away. This song marked a huge turning point. It was a Beatles track that featured only Paul on acoustic guitar and vocals, accompanied by a string quartet. No Ringo on drums, no George on guitar, no John. It was such a bold and unusual move that the band was hesitant to release it as a single in the UK, fearing it strayed too far from their signature sound. On the surface, Yesterday sounds deceptively simple, but its musical composition is pure genius. The chord progression was quite unusual for pop music at the time, creating that haunting, melancholic feeling that pulls you in. And the decision to use a string quartet, that was a first for the Beatles. It added a layer of classical elegance and emotional depth that bridged the gap between a pop song and a timeless piece of art. Paul's gentle, vulnerable vocal delivery is what seals the deal. There's an emotional honesty to it that still connects with listeners today. There are no flashy studio tricks, no complex arrangements, just music stripped down to its most raw and powerful essence. At its heart, Yesterday is a song about loss, longing, and nostalgia. It's a quiet reflection on a love that's gone and the deep, painful wish that you could turn back time to a simpler, a pure moment. The lyrics are beautifully vague, which is part of their power. They allow every single listener to project their own stories, their own heartbreaks, and their own memories onto the song. That's a huge reason why it's been covered by so many different artists. McCartney himself never confirmed if the song was about a specific breakup or person. He often said it was more about the feeling of sadness than any real event. But for millions of people, those simple lines, "Yesterday, love was such an easy game to play," tell their own personal story. Almost immediately after its release, Yesterday became a global phenomenon. It shot to the top of the charts in countries all around the world and inspired an unprecedented number of cover versions. We're talking legends like Elvis Presley, Frank Sinatra, and Ray Charles, each putting their own unique spin on the melody. It even inspired full orchestral adaptations. The song's powerful emotional core made it a staple in films, television shows, and commercials. It became the soundtrack to some of life's most personal moments, from weddings to funerals. Years later, a poll by BBC Radio 2 listeners voted it the greatest song of the 20th century. Its enduring popularity isn't just because of its beautiful melody. It's because of the pure, simple, and timeless emotion it conveys. The story behind the song is filled with fun facts that make it even more legendary. As we mentioned, Paul literally dreamt the melody, perhaps the most famous musical dream in history. The Scrambled Eggs placeholder lyric has become a famous piece of Beatles lore that still makes fans chuckle. The fact that it features no other Beatles members makes it a true solo expression, right in the middle of a world-changing band phenomenon. And consider this, Paul McCartney was only 22 years old when he composed this masterpiece. Its profound simplicity was, in its own way, revolutionary. It proved that a song doesn't need to be loud or complex to leave a deep and lasting impact on the world. Even today, Yesterday continues to inspire musicians, songwriters, and listeners of all ages. Its timeless quality effortlessly bridges generations. Young audiences discover it and connect with its raw emotion, while older fans are transported back to the very first time they heard it on the radio. The song is a powerful reminder that creativity can strike from the most unexpected places. A dream, a quiet moment, a fleeting emotion. It teaches us about the enduring power of vulnerability and honesty in art. More than anything, it shows that a simple melody can carry a weight of emotion that words alone often cannot. So, Yesterday isn't just a song, it's a story, it's a memory. And it's a beautiful reminder that music has the incredible power to transcend time. The next time you hear that gentle guitar intro, remember its incredible journey. It began as a melody in a dream, became a global anthem of love and loss, and continues to touch hearts all over the world today. If this story moved you and you want to hear more untold tales behind your favorite songs, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Thanks for watching.